Hello, hope you are all doing well and staying safe, happy, and just generally keeping yourself busy as possible. Hope you're keeping up with all the exercises and just keeping yourself fit and healthy. We're gonna start standing up today in Pilates. So what I'd like to do is just bring your mat to the floor and you're gonna stand to the back of your mats. We're gonna add quite a lot of stretch into today again. So just really enjoy the moments where we're stretching, really kind of breathe into every movement we do. And then, yeah, just enjoy it. So when you're ready, bring yourself to the back of your mats. Get some more light in here. I'm just going to angle my computer a little bit further down, but I will move it again later so you can see my legs. Okay, so we're going to spread the toes. Ground yourself, take a breath, let your body just relax. Feel your weight just gently moving side to side as you close your eyes. So physically just let your weight fall to one foot, back through the center and over to the other side. And at some point just begin to find yourself in the middle and feeling your weight pressing down into the floor. I want you to gently squeeze your butt, tuck your tailbone under, soften the knees. Take a breath in and you're going to lift your shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze them back behind and lower them down towards the floor. And just do that a few times. Now as you roll your shoulders, I want you to drop your chin towards your chest so you're just feeling the stretch down the back of the neck. 2 more rolls of the shoulders. And on that last one, keep your chin down, turn your palms forward, spread your fingers wide and push your fingers down towards the floor. And you'll feel that extra stretch running through the back of the neck and into those shoulders. Roll your chin towards your left shoulder, keeping it tucked down. Breath in through the center and over to the other side. So just continue to roll your chin, staying low. I know you can't see my head, but in a minute, I'll be able to show you what we're going to go into. So the head doesn't play a role at the moment. Bring your eye gaze up, roll your shoulders one more time. Soften your knees even more. Then lower your chin again, and then keeping your arms relaxed, just let yourself soften and roll yourself down to the floor. So it doesn't matter where you are. So you might be up here if you're very tight in the hamstrings or the lower back. You may be happily on the ground. And then if you are, you might be able to extend your legs a little bit more and just let yourself rock side to side freely. Turn your head side to side. And then find your center point again. Bend your knees, bring your fingertips down towards the floor. And I want you to crouch your body down as much as it will go. So as I drop down, my heels gently lift off the floor. And I feel a little stretch down the backs of my calves. So I try and push my heels down into the floor. Bring your fingertips forward, drop your chin, and see if you can drop your heels back down towards the ground. And then roll forward again if you can. So if you feel you're going to fall, don't go all the way back. Just press back into those heels, drop your chin and feel the stretch. So that's just stretch down to your lower back and down the backs of your calves. Unless you're not tight in that area, then you're lucky. And then slide your fingers in, extend your legs. So just walk through your legs, bending and extending. So if you're down here, that's fine. Just keep trying. Or if you need to bring your hands to your shins, you're very tight. Just work wherever you can. Take a breath in, begin to bend those knees. Fingertips come forward. Reach forward through the arms, drop your chin again and press down into your heels. So just again, be wary of your knees. If your knees don't like flexion like this, then just come higher. Be here, supporting with your arms, okay? That should be fine. You might feel that's a deep enough stretch for your calves. And then walk your fingers back and extend those legs. Walk through it again if you need to. There's no right or wrong. We're just mobilizing, okay? Just go with what you can. And then we inhale, take a little walk forward. Drop the knees to the floor. Good. I want you to press your toes under. So I spread my toes, push your bottom down into the heels, and just start to feel an opening through the backs of your feet, maybe through the toes. And you might want to stay here if this is strong enough, or walk your hands in and begin to lift up through your back and go deeper. Or you might want to just completely come onto your feet. And if you're feeling really flexible, you can lean back, engage your core, and then bring yourself back up to straight spine. So you might want to lean back up to a straight spine. So this is really lovely on the arches of the feet. This is where I feel it. I really like the kind of pain. It's like a release pain. And then one more time. Hands to the floor, tuck those toes, downward facing dog. So a bit of yoga here. Walk through those legs again. Extend and lengthen out that spine. Squeeze your abs, lift your hips. And press those heels down into the floor. Slide your toes back, feel that stretch. And all I want you to do is float your body forward, come into a basic plank, and then squeeze through the belly, lift your hips back up again. Drop your eye gaze to your toes, squeeze your abs, lengthen your spine, ground down through your 5 fingers, and then rock forward. So I'm doing a gentle curve of the spine and then straightening up to pause, taking a breath, exhale, lift back up. So it's actually quite a nice controlled exercise into a lovely controlled stretch. So we rock forward onto the balls of the feet, roll through the spine and bring yourself to flat back. Lengthen out, squeeze your butt. And then inhale here, exhale, lift all the way up. Flatten the spine, press your heels down, squeeze your abs and drop deep into that V, upside down V. One more time, inhale, roll through the toes, curve the spine. Bring your eye gaze slightly forward, flatten the spine, squeeze your abs, squeeze your butt. Hold yourself strong. And then for the last time, we lift ourselves up. And then exhale, press down into the heels. So I'm going to look forward and step my front leg forward between my thumbs. Extend through the back leg and sink your hips down. And then just lift up through the spine and find that little stretch. From there, we're going to slide that knee in, bend the knee at the back, and bring our hands onto our hips, and we're going to hold a lunge. So again, you don't need to see my upper body. I'm just facing forward, just a lower body, and we're going to press up and down in a little lunge. Now, you want your weight to be in this front buttock, okay? So exhale. Your front heel is taking the weight. So you should be able to lift your toes, and your back leg just follows that motion. 5, 4, 3, 2, pause. 10 little pulses here. 8, 7, 6, 5. Go a bit lower if you can. 2 and 1. And drop your hands back down. Extend that back leg. Then lower the knee to the floor. And just find a little stretch here through the hips. So you can just stay here. Bring your hands inside and just rock down and up through those hips. You might be able to come down to your elbows and just rock here. We're not here for too long. We're just going to mobilize this area. 5 more little presses. Sink. 3, open that knee out towards me a little bit more. Last one. And then pause for breath. Take your hand back around the foot, tuck your toes onto the back, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Lift your hips, extend your spine, press down into your heels. We're going to inhale, roll forward again. We're coming down into that plank. This time, we're going to work through the shoulders, okay? You can come to your knees if you need to. Our front arm is going to lead first. We're going to inhale, drop down through the front arm, down through the back arm, and then power up through your core. Front hand goes where the elbow is, back hand goes where the other elbow was. Same side, down, down, up, up. If you need to drop to your knees, please do so, and then work there. So we're just working those shoulders. Try not to let those hips wiggle side to side, so it's very easy. Just allow that motion to happen to help power up through the arms. Really focus on squeezing deep into your abdomen to keep those hips still. So it's a lot easier on your knees to feel that Isolation in the hips. 2 more with the same arm leading. Last one ends up on the hands. If you're on your knees, perhaps now you want to lift your knees off the floor. Take one more breath here. And then lift those hips back up. Walk the feet in a little bit and press down into that downward facing dog. Breathe there, enjoy the stretch. Squeeze the abs to lift the hips, lengthen the spine. And if you need a break, feel free to come into a quick child's pose. You've got about another 5 seconds. And if you are in child's pose, just begin to transition back up into that downward facing dog. So on your next breath, we're going to inhale, roll forward. Exhale, drop down to the knees. Pause here. So the front leg is going to do some work now. Now this is going to be a lot of mobilization through your hips. Allow that freedom through your hips, but still control through your abdomen. So we're going to start with the front leg. It's going to lift up. It's going to tap behind your stabilizing leg. It's going to lift up and it's going to open up and it's going to tap outside of its hip. So I am in line with the hip there. So the toe stays pointed, you swing it up all the way around and cross it over, tap it behind, lift it up, come all the way around. Okay? So we're doing a lovely circumduction of the hip. Don't take it too far behind, it's just a little tap behind the toes and then all the way back around, softening that back arm. So you should be with me now. Allow the turn of the hip, allow the rotation, but squeeze your abs to move the leg as much as you can. So you want to feel your abs being the assisted muscle group to the movement of the buttock and the thigh. Don't take any weight into your shoulders, be nice and loose, okay? So if you firm the arms, you're just going to end up straining your shoulders. So we're going to do 3 more taps. Your stabilizing leg is going to feel this more than your moving leg. Don't rush it. So you're going to give me 1 more. And then when you next cross over, hold it across so your toes pointed behind. Lift it up and give it a little pulse. So just feel that opening down through the front side of your body and squeezing that butt. 10 more little presses. Then pause, lift that leg all the way out and drop it to the ground. Now, before we take it into a moving exercise, take your arms into more of a soft position. Move your hands slightly away from me. Lean into that back leg. Then lift the leg and push through the sole of the foot. And then press it up and down. Squeeze, squeeze. Come on, let's go. If it's too much and your leg's not lifting, bend the knee, work there. Take off half the load. 8, 7, 6, come on. 4, 3, 2, hold it there. And release it down. Take a child's pose, relaxing your hands by your feet. Squeeze your legs together and curl it down. Alternatively, come into a cat stretch. If you're doing a cat stretch, come onto your elbows. Do it with your elbows so you're taking the pressure off the wrists and the shoulders. And just curl yourself into a little ball. Let those buttocks release. Look forward, slide your hands forward, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. So find your positioning. Squeeze your abs, lift your hips, lengthen your spine, and feel your chest melt down towards the thighs as you press your heels down into the floor. And do use your camera, if you can see yourself, to look at your positioning. You really want to try and get that point up through the hips. We're going to inhale to begin. Exhale, roll forward. Pause in a plank. So we're going to work the other shoulder. You might take your feet a bit wider. Feel free to drop to your knees. We inhale, back arm, front arm, back arm, front arm. Down, down, up, up. Drop to your knees if you need to. Squeeze deep into your abdomen. Work those muscles of the shoulders. Power up. Don't let your bottoms be all the way up here. Okay, if you're up here, you're going to get nothing out of it. Okay, you've always got to have your hips rocked forward slightly so the weight is there and your core is working. 4 more. Keep going, keep going. Last 2. Now remember, in your last one, you push up one more time to your hands. Pause there. If you're on your knees, see if you can lift them off the floor. Take one more breath. And then drop your knees to the ground. Okay, good. So we're going to work that back leg. So knees underneath hips, soften the elbows. We're going to take our weight into the front leg, lifting that back leg behind us. So we just swing the leg, tap the floor, lift it all the way up, take it all the way, and tap to the outside of your hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swing it around, tap. Inhale, lift, swing it around, and tap. So I've got lots of movement through my hips, but my abs are controlling the leg. I've got lots of soft movements in my elbows, so there's no pressure on my shoulders. 4 more. Clap it behind, squeeze. Now remember, when you come to that last one, your leg stays crossed over the front leg. So we swing all the way around, drop it to the floor, take a breath, lift that leg and press. Squeeze the abs, try not to let your lower back dip. Just press, press, scoot the belly in, keep it pressed over. 5, 4, 3, 2, and pause. Lift it all the way up and drop it down to the floor in line with your hip behind. So my leg is out here. So you need to walk your hands to the front, to my side of the mat a little bit more. Soften through the elbows to take the weight into that front leg. Lift the back leg up. Push through the sole of the foot and let's go. Press, squeeze. Soften the elbows, keep pressing. Get it higher if you can. 8, 7, lose the load if you need to. 2, and hold it up, lift it. And then drop it down to the floor. Sit it back, grab the heels and drop down. Look forward, bring your hands forward, tuck your toes, lift those hips, press down into the heels, look forward and take your back foot in between your thumbs. Good. Lower the knee. Sorry, don't lower the knee, that was my mistake. Just extend the knee and just sink down into those hips. And then take a little step forward and then push yourself into a lunge. So bend deep into that back knee, your weight is into that back buttock, into the heels, so my toes can wriggle, and we press up and down. Engage your abs, lovely flat back, pull the shoulders back and down. Equally, don't let your hips protrude forward, stay in the center. 4, squeeze that buttock at the back. 2, and hold. Now go a little bit lower and pulse, pulse. 8, 7, 6, go low if you can. 4, 3, 2, and hold. And then lower your hands to the floor. Sink that knee behind, take your hands inside that foot, and just rock through your hips back and forth. And you can do this on your elbows if you're particularly open in the hips. Push the knee away a little bit and just mobilize. 3 more little presses. And then just hold that last one. And then from here, tuck your toes, bring your hands back around, slide that leg back, plank, pause in your plank. Options just to stay here. You can lower to your knees. If you want to make it harder, you can just hover one leg off the floor. Hold there for about 8 seconds until I say change. Change. Other side, squeeze it, just a little leg hover, that's all. You can do it here if you wish. 3, 2, and 1. Everyone drop down to the floor. Tuck those toes, fan the feet, sit back into those heels again if you can. Leaning back and coming forward. Or if that's too much for you, just stay in your hands and just push your heels down in bottom, into your heels. 4 more. For your abs, controlling the movement. Last 2. Last 1. Good. And then free your feet, give a little tap. And then swing your feet around in front of you. So we're on the floor. Your knees can stay bent or you can extend them full length. It just depends how your hip flexors are feeling. Just slide your hands onto your shins and just lift up tall through your spine. Just pull your spine into beautiful extension, pulling your shoulders back and down. Take your arms forward, relax through the shoulders. We're going to inhale, swoop the front arm around, reach back and come all the way up as we inhale, extend. Exhale, swoop the other side, reach the hand back. Inhale, come up, extend. So you can go as far back as you feel you can. Try and squeeze the legs together as you swoop back. They do tend to want to just roll around a little bit, so you need to focus more on engaging your transverse abdominals, those lower abs, just to prevent them from flapping around. Try it with extended legs. You might find it easier. You might find it harder. Really suck through the belly, feel that rotation, follow your hand movement and feel the squeeze of your shoulder blade. And then lift and lengthen up through that spine. So you're transitioning out of that extension. 4 more. Reach. Moving back. And then when you come to do your last one, just stop at the top, lift up and lengthen, then float towards me, reach the arm, stay here, swing the arm back and out for 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. Arms forward, straight to the other side, squeeze, rotate, 5, 4, reach that arm, 3, 2, last 1, and then lift up and lengthen the arms high, flex those feet and come forward and try and grab hold of the feet or the calves. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, fold. Do that again, lift up and lengthen, and then fold. So just a couple of breaths here. Whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to show you the next exercise. I need to roll a little bit further forward on my mat. You lift up tall, we reach forward, we press 5 times forward. So just watch this one to begin with. After the 5 presses, we lift and lengthen up and controllably roll, 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 roll through the spine. Arms extend overhead. Lift the legs up to the sky. Pause. Lower the legs down to the floor. Swing the arms above the shoulders, chin to chest. Roll it up, 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 up. Lift up. Reach forward. Flex the spine. 5 presses forward. Okay, so start with me now. Reach. Now, there are alternatives to this. If you know you can't physically come up once you're down on the floor in a rolling motion, then I want you to lift up tall. Everyone drop down either to the floor or halfway. If you're halfway, do 1 leg lift, do another leg lift, pause, and roll all the way back up, extend, and repeat the exercise, 5 presses. So by now you would have dropped to the floor, raise your legs all the way to the sky, drop them all the way back down and back up here again. So if you're doing that first one, We inhale, roll up, lift the arms, slowly drop down, control, 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 arms overhead, squeeze your abs, lift the legs up, and then slowly drop them back down, lift the arms above the shoulders, chin to chest, roll it all the way back up, lift up, and 5 presses forward. So, you can, if that feels too much once you're on the floor, you can do it slightly differently. So you can roll all the way down, take your arms back or down by your side, lift one leg, followed by the other leg, and then drop that back leg and drop that front leg, arms up, roll it up. Okay, that's a little bit easier if you feel you've got a bit of a dodgy back, or your abs aren't controlling that move. And 5 times. If you want to make it even harder than the one that I've shown you, you can roll all the way to the floor, take the arms back, lift the legs and pause halfway. Take a breath, drop them straight back down. That's harder because you've got the tension running the whole time. Okay, don't rush it. I want you to feel the tension in the abs. I want you to enjoy the stretch. And every time you reach forward, go that little bit further. Mobilize the backs of those legs. We're going to do 3 more rounds, okay? This is the first one of 3. So wherever you are, you might be doing that first one. If you're doing the first one, you just pause there, lift one leg, lift the other leg, pause for a breath, and then roll it up, okay? So you've got your options, 5 reaches. 2 more rounds. If you're doing one leg lift and the other leg lift, try and change the legs around on the next one so that you do your left one leading, your right one follows, your left one goes down and your right one goes down, or do the other side, you know what I mean? Don't worry too much about it if I'm confusing you, as long as those legs are lifting. So this is your last one. Lift up, roll it, either halfway or fully down, arms overhead or down by your side, legs up to the sky. Take a breath, controllably drop everything down to the floor. Lifting those arms, chin to chest, roll all the way up. Lift up and lengthen, and let's come deeper into those hamstring stretch. So if you didn't catch your feet before, you might be able to now, or get your hands lower down the legs, or bend your knees to grab the feet. Lift up and lengthen, and fold down into those hamstrings. Look up, lift and lengthen, and drop down. And then release, roll up. Take your arms forward, soften through the spine, sink back, and then just lift your spine a little bit taller. Lift one leg, followed by the other leg up to tabletop. Find your balance. Turn your palms down, pump your arms. So this might be enough for you. We're going to be here for about 1 minute, okay, before we finish. And just work there. If it gets too much, drop your feet and just pump there, controlling that movement. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, extend your legs, pump the arms, take your arms a little bit higher, pump them higher, lift and lengthen up through the spine. Stay here if that's enough for you, or you can move between 3. 30 seconds have gone. So breathe. Challenge those hamstrings and extension. 20 more seconds left. Keep going. Keep going. Squeeze those abs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring the soles of the feet together. Lift up and lengthen the spine. Push those knees down and feel the groin and the hip flexors stretching, inner thighs, adductors. And then softly bring the elbows in front and see if you can just drop your head and chest down towards those legs as you allow the knees to fall out. I'm very tight in that area, so this is a real struggle for me. Just breathe and let go. And then gently just begin to release off Bring those knees together. I'm just going to turn to face you for the next stretch. So lean into your hands and then just lift your chest. Pull your shoulders back and your eye gaze forward. We're going to stretch the buttocks in a seated position. So you're going to slide your feet forward a little bit and take one leg across the opposite knee. And this might be enough for you. You might feel that's a deep buttock stretch on that leg. So stay here or walk your hands in. Stay grounded through your buttocks, but lift your spine tall and open that knee out. If you're particularly flexible, you might be able to grab your shin, but only if you can lift your spine. So I'm very tight in my buttocks and I can't quite make it there. So I'm going to keep my hands behind me and just lift really tall, pushing that knee away and just breathe. And then just gently drop the knee over to the side, ground that sole of the foot, sit down into your buttocks. If you physically can't sit down into your buttocks, then free this leg out in front. So that leg will swing round. Then you can sit here, bring the hand around the base of the spine, wrap the arm around the thigh, lift up and lengthen, and take a spine. Look over the shoulder. And then come back to the center, release the leg, free the leg, and then simply swap the other side. So lean back into your arms, place the ankle across the knee, walk your hands in and lift your spine by pushing your bottom down into the ground and open that knee away. You might want to flex your foot to protect the ankle. If you're particularly flexible, you can grab hold of the shin and really lift that spine. Push the floor away, take your head out of your shoulders and just breathe. Now this is included in my stretch tip of the week. So if you want to do more buttock stretching, then click onto my 6 minutes YouTube video just for a little bit more buttock stretching. But these two stretches are included in it. So take one more breath, lift up tall, and then let your leg fall over, drop the foot to the ground. Again, sit firmly into your buttocks. If you cannot, free that leg. Swing the hand around the base of the spine, wrap this arm around, lift up and lengthen, and twist over, look over that shoulder. And use the arm just to keep your spine into extension, and then turn and twist. One more breath. And then look back towards me. Uncross your legs. And then sit yourself into a comfortable cross-leg position. Sit tall. Bring your fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, raise your arms all the way up. Interlace your fingers at the top like this. Turn your palms up and stretch the sides of your body up. And then bring your palms facing in and then curve through the tops of the shoulders as if you're putting your shoulder blades apart by squeezing your fingers as if you're trying to squeeze them away from one another. But as you squeeze and lengthen your arms, you'll feel your shoulder blades pulling away. It's a really nice opening. Helps to bow your head. And then release your fingers, take your fingers around the base of your spine and push your arms away from you as you lengthen up. Stay here, that's enough for you stretching those shoulders. If you might want to come forward and lift the arms, it's your choice. I prefer to be upright. And then release your fingertips, open your palms. One more time, breathe in, exhale, raise your arms up. Softly bring your hands down in front of your chest. Give yourselves a little bow. And give yourselves a little clap. Thank you very much for tuning into my Pilates session. As usual, it's always a pleasure to teach. And I just miss all your faces. Anyway, have a wonderful week and look after yourself. Bye.